Dodgers Nation, take a deep breath because we've got some explosive news that's about to shake the entire foundation of Major League Baseball. Walker Buehler is officially returning to Los Angeles, and the Dodgers have just confirmed what might be the most critical move of the season. This isn't just another name added to the rotation. This isn't a minor league call-up or a depth signing. This is a full-blown, franchise-shifting, playoff dreams awakening blockbuster. Buehler is back in Dodger blue, and the energy around this return is absolutely unreal. For anyone who's followed this team over the last few years, you know exactly what Walker Buehler means to the Dodgers. This is the guy who rose through the ranks, stepped onto the mound in the biggest moments, and delivered time and time again. He wasn't just a promising young arm. He was the guy who shut down elite offenses in the postseason, who threw with fire and fearlessness, and who wore that Dodger uniform like it was armor. And now he's back. Not as a hopeful comeback story. Not as a question mark. But as a statement. The Dodgers aren't here to play nice. They're here to win it all, and bringing back Buehler is proof of that mission. Let's talk about what makes this return so massive. First of all, timing. The Dodgers have been absolutely hammered by injuries this year, especially in their rotation. We're talking about a laundry list of big names who've hit the IL: Blake Snell, Tyler Glasnow, Dustin May, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, and yes, even Ohtani, who's still building back toward pitching. The rotation has been a jigsaw puzzle, constantly shifting, constantly scrambling, and right now, this team needs a rock. A dependable, big-game pitcher who knows how to carry a team when the lights are at their brightest. Enter Walker Buehler. Now let's rewind to his last stint with the Dodgers. This guy was a flamethrower with icy nerves. We're talking about a pitcher who had a 2.47 ERA in 2021, racking up 212 strikeouts and becoming an all-star. He had postseason dominance written all over him. He pitched in elimination games, Game 7s, pressure cookers. And he didn't just survive, he thrived. The fans loved him, his teammates respected him, and opposing hitters feared him. That's the legacy he left behind, and now he's coming back with even more to prove. But it hasn't been all sunshine and rainbows for Buehler since then. He underwent his second Tommy John surgery and spent over a year away from a big league mound. A second surgery like that? It's no small thing. It's career-threatening. But Buehler never backed down. He rehabbed. He rebuilt. He refined his mechanics. And in Boston, where he signed a one-year deal earlier this year, he got the reps he needed. Yes, he had some rocky outings, but he also showed flashes of the dominance we all remember. Mid-90s velocity. That devastating knuckle curve. The same nasty command that left batters frozen. And now, he's ready to bring it all back to LA. The Dodgers didn't make this move lightly. This isn't about nostalgia. This is about impact. And Buehler brings impact in every sense of the word. You want a guy who can start Game 1 of a playoff series? You got him. You want someone who can throw 7 shutout innings when your bullpen is taxed and your backs are against the wall? That's Buehler. And perhaps more importantly, you want someone who's been through the war, who's worn that jersey in October, who's tasted the champagne and felt the heartbreak. That's exactly who just walked back through the door. There's also a strategic brilliance behind this deal. The Dodgers front office knows what they're doing. Andrew Friedman and his crew didn't wait around for the trade deadline to panic by pitching. They went out and made a calculated, bold move to bring in a guy who already knows the system, already has chemistry with the staff, and already has the fanbase behind him. Buehler walks into this clubhouse not as a stranger but as a returning hero. That matters. Chemistry matters. And come playoff time, when every out is precious, that familiarity could be the difference between a ring and a regret. From a pure baseball perspective, adding Buehler now solves so many problems. The Dodgers have leaned on bullpen games and emergency starters to patch together their rotation. That's not sustainable for a full season, let alone a deep playoff run. With Buehler in the mix, they get a legitimate innings eater, a pitcher who can carry the load and give the rest of the staff some breathing room. He brings consistency, stability, and elite level stuff. And if he even comes close to his former self, this could go down as the steal of the year. And let's not ignore the psychological side of this deal. This is a shot of adrenaline straight into the heart of the Dodgers locker room. When a player like Buehler walks in, it changes the mood. It lifts the energy. Players believe more. Fans cheer louder. Opponents take notice. And that momentum when you're chasing a World Series can be everything. Now let's talk postseason. Because that's where this really matters. If Buehler returns to form by the time October rolls around, the Dodgers' rotation goes from shaky to terrifying. Imagine this: Game 1, Buehler on the mound. Game 2, Glasnow. Game 3, Ohtani, if he's ready. Add in Yamamoto, Snell, or even a revitalized Bobby Miller, and you've got a rotation built to dismantle anyone in baseball. That's how you win championships. That's how you write history. And speaking of history, let's remember something: Walker Buehler helped this franchise end a 32-year World Series drought. He's already immortalized in Dodger lore. But what if he adds another chapter? What if this comeback becomes the defining moment of the 2025 season? What if, against all odds, he leads the Dodgers to another title, proving not just that he still has it but that he's better than ever? That's the dream. That's the story we're watching unfold. And right now, you can feel it building. You can feel something special happening in Los Angeles. The media is already buzzing. Analysts are scrambling to rework their playoff predictions. Fans are flooding social media with messages of welcome and excitement. And the clubhouse? You can bet they're fired up. This isn't just business. This is personal. This is family. Let's also give credit where it's due. The Dodgers front office deserves a standing ovation. They didn't just sit back and hope injured pitchers would come back. They didn't gamble on prospects alone. They made a smart, powerful move, and they did it early. That aggressiveness might just be what separates them from the pack this year. So what's next? For Buehler, it's getting back on the mound in Dodger Stadium, hearing that crowd roar, and showing the world he's still the ace we all remember. For the team, it's tightening up the rotation, building chemistry, and locking in for the stretch run. And for fans, it's time to believe again. Because something's happening here. This team is coming together. The pieces are falling into place. And if everything clicks, we could be on the verge of another magical run. Walker Buehler's return might just be the spark that lights the fire. If you're a real Dodgers fan, if you remember those clutch playoff performances, if you stood and cheered as Buehler shut down lineups in October, you know exactly how much this means. This isn't just a player coming back. This is a leader returning home. This is a warrior picking up his sword again. And this is the Dodgers saying loud and clear, we're not finished. We're coming for the crown. So what do you think, Dodgers Nation? Is Buehler the missing piece? Will his return be the push this team needs to bring another championship to LA? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to smash that like button if you're as hyped as we are about this news. Subscribe if you haven't already, because we've got wall-to-wall coverage of every twist, every pitch, every heart-pounding moment of this wild season. Walker Buehler is back. The Dodgers just made their biggest statement yet. And the rest of the league? They better watch out. Because the fight for the pennant just got a whole lot more dangerous. The ace is home. And he's got unfinished business.